Americans are getting worse at reading and math. The governor of New York wants to hand out cash, and America has fallen in love with this killer. I mean, this man's killer abs. That and more on this week's America Uncovered headlines. Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. According to a new study, U.S. adults are getting worse at reading and math. Being bad at math, that just doesn't add up. I'm arithmetic off. According to the study, the share of Americans who scored at the lowest level or below on a standardized reading test has risen to 28%, while the share who scored at the lowest level on a standardized math test has risen to 34%. To translate that for the average American, it means 1 in 4 Americans can't read good, and 1 in 3 Americans can't math good. The real problem, of course, is not the slow decline in basic skills. It's that Finland is winning. I mean, come on. Don't they know that Finland doesn't even exist?
Finland is not a real country. It is just a guise set up by the country of Japan so that they can do free fishing.
I get all my best information from social media, which has had zero effect on my ability to read and do math. But this might be part of why President-elect Donald Trump has called for dismantling the federal education department. In 2002, then-President Bush signed the No Child Left Behind Act. Since then, the federal government has poured billions of dollars into public schools across the country, and children have taken millions of standardized tests, which ultimately determine which schools got more funding and which schools got denied. But this centralizing of education has not resulted in better education. Today, even many elite college students can no longer read books. A student at Ivy League Columbia University told her professor that all throughout high school, she had never been required to read an entire book. No wonder crime rates are going up. When the judge throws the book at them, they don't know how to read it. Shutting down the federal education department would mean kicking this role back to each individual state, the way it used to be. And given how bad things have gotten in the last 20 years, that could hardly make things worse, is what I would say if I weren't a relentless black-pilled pessimist. We're doomed! Doomed! Speaking of, in addition to shaking up the government, Trump is shaking up the world of cologne. He just launched a new line of fragrances for men and women.
I've named them Fight, Fight, Fight because they represent winning. Get yourself a bottle and don't forget to grab one for your loved ones too.
That's right, buy one for your favorite family member who smells bad. Because if you can't make them read good, you can at least make them smell good. A new report from the Department of Justice has concluded that the FBI had 26 informants at the January 6, 2021 Capitol riots. The FBI has long claimed they did not have any agents there. And leadership at the FBI has been adamant that it did not have sources who orchestrated the riot. But they did have informants, including one who texted his FBI handler at the time. 4 of the informants entered the Capitol and 13 went into a restricted area. For a long time, it was labeled a conspiracy theory that the FBI had agent provocateurs at the Capitol. And now it turns out that conspiracy was kind of true. Did these informants orchestrate any violence? We don't know. Did they plant the pipe bombs that were found in the area but were never set off? We don't know. The more you dig, the more nuanced it seems to be. But of course, it requires a lot of reading. So one thing is clear. The difference between a conspiracy theory and fact is about 6 months. Finland, your time is coming. And after the break, inflation sucks. One politician has a solution. Welcome back. Over the last 4 years, the U.S. government has printed trillions of dollars. In a shocking coincidence, inflation has hit record highs. In 2022, it got as high as 9%. But you didn't need to learn math in school to know that. Grocery prices are crazy, rent prices are insane, and having a minimum wage job sucks. Although, to be fair, that's not new. But the New York State governor wants to fix all this for you. She's proposing sending out one-time $300 to $500 inflation refund checks to residents. Also, in a shocking coincidence, Governor Kathy Hochul is seeking a second term, and she's facing declining approval ratings and a potentially tough primary in the 2026 governor's race. So if $500 isn't enough to fix your problems, at least it might be enough to fix hers. Vote Hochul 2026. Oh! There's been an update on last week's murder of UnitedHealthCare CEO Brian Thompson. They've got a suspect in Pennsylvania. The suspect's name is Luigi Mangione. Mangione is currently fighting extradition from Pennsylvania to New York, where he faces murder and gun charges. Now, it's important to remember that a person is innocent until proven guilty. But the court of public opinion has already decided that Mangione is way too sexy. To be clear, I did not make that video. Someone posted it to TikTok. But seriously, Luigi Mangione has become an online sex symbol. I mean, yeah, he allegedly shot an undefended man in the back with the deranged idea that if you murder the right people, it'll fix America's healthcare system. But I mean, look at those abs. Oh yeah. If you think I'm exaggerating, I'm not. There are so many people posting things on the internet like, Luigi Mangione, too sexy to be in prison, please release him. And, God, he is so hot. Free Luigi. And if they let Luigi Mangione go free, I will find and date him. They might want to watch out. He could be a lady killer, too. But maybe we should be forgiving to our fellow Americans, even if they're criminals. Leading by example is President Biden. President Biden has just commuted roughly 1,500 sentences and pardoned 39 people. It's the biggest single-day act of clemency in U.S. history. It comes less than 2 weeks after he issued a blanket pardon for his son, Hunter. And Biden will probably pardon more people before he leaves the White House in 5 weeks. He even discussed preemptive pardons for certain U.S. officials, including former COVID czar Anthony Fauci, as well as former January 6th committee members Liz Cheney and Adam Schiff. In response, Senator-elect Adam Schiff told the Associated Press, "I would urge the president not to do that. I think it would seem defensive and unnecessary." Are you sure you don't want to pardon just in case Trump goes after you? Although, to be fair, in Trump's first term, he did not jail a single one of his political opponents, not even Hillary Clinton, despite supporters repeatedly chanting, "Lock her up." Trump said at the time that prosecuting Clinton would be very, very divisive for the country. But clearly this time around, at least some people are taking the threat more seriously. Bill Clinton is talking about a preemptive pardon for Hillary, which just makes all these people sound so innocent. Of course, if anyone does have dirt on Hillary, I wish you a long life. You know, kids these days just don't seem to care about space. When was the last time you heard anyone talking about blowing up the moon? I mean, did you know that NASA plans to send humans to the moon again less than a year from now? I didn't think so. Sure, they published a lot of material about it, but I mean, who reads? That's why NASA is now inviting social media influencers to attend the launch of 2 upcoming NASA missions. Now they can do the Space Pod Challenge, which makes sense. Science is hard if you can't read good or do math good, but at least Americans can watch TikTok good. And in more important news, I have launched my new premium website where you'll get access to 7 years of America Uncovered episodes ad-free, plus access to my other shows, including China Uncensored, China Unscripted, and Gamers Unbeaten, all in one place. Plus, premium episodes you can't get on YouTube or anywhere else. And by subscribing, you'll also be part of the team, helping us keep making great episodes. Check it out now at ChinaUncensored.tv and become one of our first premium subscribers. Your first 7-day subscription is free. The link is below. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.